to play Musa is because I think in some scenario you're going to have to trade Dinwiddie, and Dinwiddie's going to
It's
want to be a
possible.
starting point guard. And if he goes to Orlando, they won tonight, by the way. Uh, they add
He's
a
not a
point.
starting point guard, though.
He's not,
He's
but I
the
think
perfect bench scorer. That's what
he
he is.
he is this generation's Lou Williams, a more dependable Lou Williams. But his defense is horrible. I
I'll take Lou Williams over Dinwiddie.
no. What I mean by that is, so Lou Williams will score every single time, all the time, but he's not going to create. He's not going to do other things that Dinwiddie is going to do, right? Lou Williams is all just get buckets. Now, Dinwiddie will give you those moments that he looks like a guy who could lead a team. I say package him with some other stuff. Get Gordon, because they don't need Gordon. That's why I'm so fixated on getting him, is because their guys
Well, hold on,
Isaacs.
Eve. So they don't need him in theory. They need the kid from Florida State and Bamba to prove there's something before.
Before they
What is
would,
his name? Jonathan Isaac. Yeah, I mean, like
yeah.
until those guys prove him expendable, he's not. He's still either their best or second best player, and he's definitely their number one asset.
He's
So
a square peg in a round hole. They play him at small forward, and there's other things that he's the best player on the team right now. But I also feel like he keeps Isaacs from being who he needs to be. So if they could get a guard, now would they take Karras over over Dinwiddie? Yes. Karras looked, Karras showed some things, and he showed some frustrating things. Like Karras's game, his problem is his game is not all the way solid,
right.
but he showed some things on defense. He showed some things, creating shots. You know, he's still a great. He's a better passer than Kyrie. He's a nice. I think he's a nice compliment to them. I would hate to lose him. So if they could package Dinwiddie, some picks, and Theo Pinson.
Yeah, you have to do it, obviously.
You get that guy, and then now you can slug it out with the 76ers. You can take
You find a backup point guard.
exactly. You find a backup point guard, and you just and you want to know what else? Kyrie's going to play 38 minutes in the playoffs. So,
Right.
And then that would make these three point guard at the end of games lineups go away. You bring in Aaron Gordon, you bring in a guy who's gonna run the floor, dunk, put some excitement into that building, and now you don't have to jeopardize Kevin Durant and have him guard Al Horford and John Collins and.
Right. So I think what this exercise has proven is that there's options, and we have the pieces to make it work. Short term, just figure out how to let Joe Harris learn how to play off of Irving, guy like Prince, even Levert, Allen. They have to learn his rhythms, his movements. All right, he's making this move. He usually does this. You have to kind of learn. They knew where D'Lo was going to be off a pick. He was either going to shoot the three or get to the elbow, so they can kind of figure out their spots. I'm not worried about this team. They're going to be fine. This is a playoff team. After Milwaukee and Philly, it's going to be the Nets, the Raptors, the Celtics, and Pacers in that next four. They might be very bunched up between like 44 low and high 48 wins. So we just got to kind of keep it game by game, not put too much into this one. And, we have to wait and see what happens, because there's another move in the holster, and when that comes, we don't know.
Last question for you, Bam. Who do you hate the most on Nets Twitter?
Oof. Who do I hate the most on the Nets?
No, Nets Twitter.
Oh, on Nets, Brooklyn Beat. Well, hold on. Nets Daily number one. Brooklyn Beat is number two.
You know what? I've come to like Brooklyn Beat lately.
Dude, I've muted Brooklyn Beat. I've blocked him. The only reason I've unblocked him is because I'll see conversations where he's in there, and I can't react. Brooklyn Beat, he's corny. He thinks he's like a real like reporter. Like, dude, Brooklyn Beat's I don't want to curse, but he's a cat. He's a pussy. I'm not a Brooklyn Beat fan.
We're loose on this podcast. We say what we want to say. I just want to. I'm gonna defend Brooklyn Beat. I think being such a weird in such a bad position where there was like no hope for the team, it just brought the worst out of a lot of people in that Nets
So
Twitter.
Elgin.com always talks about like the people who comment on Nets Daily, and Brooklyn Beat is like the typical dweeb with like the gifts on Nets Daily. He's just a dweeb. So my number one hated is Robert Lindstrom, the Nets Daily guy. He's number one. And Pooch, if you're listening, Pooch, break clear of that freaking website, because the Nets need a real fan website with a normal forum that has moderators. My man, that is your role. You're the reporter Net fans turn to. You'll get credentialed. You've been going there forever.
Yeah.
Get off of Nets Daily, Pooch.
Yeah, I love Pooch. I think he could do a lot.
Pooch, get a podcast, Pooch.
He
stop with the periscopes. You can't monetize them.
I've told Pooch that personally. I think Pooch is an old school guy. He wants to get a job as a journalist. He's paid his dues. It's just the industry is different, and you know, what I do in my day job now is all about helping those guys. So, you know, down the road, I'm gonna be looking out to see if I could do.
Pooch
stuff
has to create his own content platform.
Yeah,
get off of Nets Daily, man.
Listen, that's how they hire.
He doesn't need Nets Daily anymore.
The Atlantic, and all these other spots. The way that they don't even care about your degree; they care about how many followers you have. How many
100%. Are people reading your stories?
How many people are?
I'm going to shout out my other Net fans before we go.
Yeah.
Shook Jones is the man.
That's
Reek
my
is
guy.
the man. Willie's the man.
Guy.
And my favorite guy on Nets Twitter might be my man, Los Hernandez, because he's a Net fan, he's a Met fan, and a Jet fan. He's the freaking Al Bundy of sports. My man, every time I check his feed, his team is playing a game, and he is pissed.
Yeah.
That's my boy. He gets so pissed, he can't even keep up with his tweets. He's misspelling words. He's a diehard.
Yeah, he's definitely like a fave of mine, and even though I get on you guys' nerves, like what you guys don't understand is like sometimes we'll be arguing, and my kids will be reading it, and they'll be like, "Is it really hate, Dad?" I'm like, "No, it's all right. This is just banter. It's just fun."
What Twitter has given me as a Net, I grew up as a Net fan on Long Island. None of my friends, they were all Knicks fans. I didn't have anybody to like fight about it with.
Right.
So that like group of Net fans I found on Twitter gives me people to vent to, where I don't want to vent to my Knicks fan friends because they're going to be satisfied by the things I'm saying. So when I'm emotional and I want to get in my feelings, I go to Twitter with you guys. You've blocked me like 30 times. So, I mean, here I am. I'm on your set. You're from the first guest on your podcast. So
no, it's when
you
we
can't
go.
Take these things personal.
When we go a 31 tweet, like I'll be in a pitch talking to investors, and then my phone will just be going on, and even if I turn it off, they're like interested because my phone keeps lighting up from everybody commenting on Twitter.
I'm at work. And I'm on a 40-tweet battle over like Rodion Kurucs' left hand.
And that's the thing. It's a lot of times when I put Twitter on pause, it's because I have a serious professional life that actually some important things are happening. So sometimes when our conversations get a little heated, I've got to turn that down a little. It's not that I don't like everybody and I'm not cool. Like I think people think I block them like I'm a millennial. I'm not a millennial.
Hold on, I need to stop. I take it back. I don't hate Brooklyn Beat the most. He's number 2.
Okay.
Number 1 is Randy Orleans.
Oh, I remember that guy.
Randy's a piece of trash. He'll show up randomly on my feed and other people's, and every time I see him show up, I remind him he's a piece of trash. And I'll always remind him. I'll give him this. Mm-hmm. He's purposely trolling, and I'm taking it. I feed into it, he's a piece of garbage. He's like the nice person.
He's like the super Trump guy, right? Like,
yeah, he's a piece of shit. Randy's a piece of shit. Brooklyn Beat is a nice guy. He's just a fucking dweeb, and he tries too hard.
I'm gonna try to get him on the pod.
Yeah, I won't be listening to that episode. Won't be listening to anything Brooklyn Beat has to say.
You're one of the few actual friends of mine that was a Twitter friend that's become a real friend. We've actually shared a blunt. So you're my guy for life.
You need to meet my father. This poor bastard has been a Net fan since the Nassau Coliseum. He went to the game tonight with my oldest brother. This guy will go out to dinner on a Friday night with my mother. The Nets could be 20-55. He will DVR the goddamn game. He will watch it when he gets home. He doesn't want to know. If they lose by 40, he doesn't want to. He watches every freaking game. When they're on the West Coast, he takes a nap around 7 o'clock just to wake up so he's fresh. He's 64 years old. He is Nets basketball. You need to meet him.
You got to bring him on the pod.
That's why I'm a Nets fan.
You got to bring him on the pod. He sounds like the man.
But he would never come on.
Neither would my dad.
He owned the construction business. He switched into the mortgage game. Then when he first started, we had to teach him not to use caps lock for everything because it looked like he was shouting. He's an old school dude. He's a one-finger poker on the keyboard. He will never come on. He'll listen, but he's the guy you need to meet. He's the reason I'm a Net fan. My brother's a Net. We were New Jersey Net fans in fucking Long Island, New York. I'm excited. The Nets, bad loss tonight. We've never been in a position where we can say, you know what? We have 3 years here. But we got a shot. And what else can you ask for?
You know what? Your dad deserves this.
He does. He you know what his move is? He'll be watching the game. I'll be at the house watching the game with him, and my mother will call from the other room, Paul, I need you. And he'll look at me, wink, and he closes his eyes and pretends he's taking a nap. just so she can walk away and he can get back to the game. We're in a great spot, man. Just get me the one final, and let's see what happens.
You know what? I'm not mad at that. Yo, Bam.
Just get there once. Let's see.
Bam Bam Bigger Nose. My guy.
I'm here.
It's been the front office. This is our first game. We went out like suckers tonight, but Kyrie looked amazing, and Kevin Durant is coming.
I'll leave you with this. I have one thing in common with Big Al. I'm from New York and never was a fan of the Knicks.
And I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna let it go out that way.
Have a good night, bro.
Good night, man.